Hampshire. I'm Ginny Simonowski, President of the Council's Board of Directors. This evening's presentation will celebrate highlights of the extraordinary year 2020, the President's Award for Outstanding Volunteer Service, drawing the name of the winner of the weekend at the Mountain View Grand Resort and Spa, and a brief look at the years ahead. But our first order of business is always the election of new and renewing board members. We're fortunate to have 5 outstanding new nominees this year. Nominated for 3-year terms ending in June 2024 are Dr. William Lightfoot. Bill is the Vice President of Product Development at SNHU and has many years of international senior leadership experience. He holds a PhD in Organization and Management and is a certified change management professional. Okay. While serving as Managing Director of Village Inc. Africa, Bill created a new business model that aided economic development in rural areas.
Carolyn?
Next, we have Dr. Salman Malik. Dr. Malik is a specialist in oral and maxillofacial surgery and graduated from the Harvard School of Dental Medicine. He is a member of a number of leading national medical and dental societies and regularly travels to Mexico providing surgical services to people in need, and to northern Maine, where he volunteers providing dental services and training dental students. Next, we have Dr. Chris Matthews. At SNHU, Chris is an associate professor of global business and leadership, leads Project AIM, and is the director of the honors program. He holds degrees from the University of Delaware, Roosevelt University, and Argosy University. Chris conducts research in organizational culture, global leadership practices, and social justice and equity. Next, we have Dr. Melinda Negron Gonzalez. Melinda teaches global studies and comparative politics at SNHU. She is a Fulbright Scholar and a recipient of UNH's Faculty Excellence in Teaching Award. Her areas of research include international norms that promote human security, counterterrorism, and human rights. And nominated to complete a 1-year term ending in June 2022 is Mr. Venue Rao. Venue is an adjunct professor at SNHU's School of Business. He graduated from Villanova and holds master's degrees in communications and electrical engineering. Venue has many years of business experience, including positions with Harris Corporation, Lockheed Martin, and BAE Systems. He actively serves on many local boards dealing with education and energy conservation. And in addition to these 5 new nominees, renewing board members nominated for terms ending in June 2024 are Steve Barndollar, Jack Resch, Dave Schroeder, and Steve Solomon. And renewing board member attorney Rachel Hampy is nominated for a 2-year term ending in June 2023. So do I hear a motion to vote to appoint these individuals to the World Affairs Council of New Hampshire's Board of Directors for the terms specified? Do I hear a motion? Second?
Move the motion.
So we have Davis
Second.
We have
and
a
Layla.
second. Okay. And now Tim Horgan, our executive director, will explain how we will vote virtually.
All right, thank you, everyone. So I will run a quick poll here. The question at hand being, do you support the slate of candidates as outlined for new board terms, yes or no? We'll give you a couple of minutes to get your votes in. So you should see it popping up on your screen, getting a lot of answers here. All right, we are almost to 100%. Just a few more votes to get in. So if you just joined us there, we are voting right now on the slate of candidates that you would have seen in our event page and emails. We have a few, we'll give it just a few more seconds because we're basically there and the vote is not going to change at this point. So why don't we go ahead and end it there. 100% of people voting yes. So
Very
thank you,
good.
everyone, and congratulations to our new and renewing board members.
Congratulations, everyone. And as we welcome 5 new board members this year, we say goodbye to 3 of our board members, Norm Turcott, Michael Evans, and Bob Blair. Norm Turcott served on several committees and as board president. If you know Norm, you know his exuberant enthusiasm for community engagement and the importance of the council's work. Norm and his wife, Pat, attended almost every event in the last 3 years and worked tirelessly to expand membership and raise awareness of the council's programs. And we expect to continue to see Norm and Pat at our upcoming live events. Next, Michael Evans served on the Program and Marketing and Development Committees. Michael and his wife, Joanna, spent the better part of a week home hosting foreign visitors through the Open World program sponsored by the Library of Congress. And he has been instrumental in our employee evaluation process. Michael is leaving New Hampshire to become the president of Peru State College in Nebraska, and we congratulate Michael on his new position. Finally, Bob Blair served on the Finance and Marketing and Development Committees. Bob's financial expertise and shrewd business sense were critical in ensuring the health of the council's investments and sound compensation and benefits plans for our employees. So we'll miss the wisdom and dedication of these 3 departing board members, and we wish them well. And now Tim Horgan will report on the council's financial condition.
Thanks, Jenny. So as we all know, last year was a challenging year for everyone, but I'm happy to report that the council has remained financially healthy throughout the pandemic. A big part of that was some access to Federal CARES Act funding, Paycheck Protection Program, the nonprofit Gopher funds that we were able to access, as well as a great turnout for our end of the year giving with our first in a very long time matching program that was quite successful. So thank you to everyone who supported that effort. We're pleased to report that operating revenue exceeded expenses by about $27,000 last year. And the surplus has been set aside as a reserve for future operating costs. We want to make sure that the organization continues to be financially stable moving forward. As of December 31st, the council's fund balance stood at $304,498. $304,489. Anyway, moving on. Again, we thank everyone for helping to keep the council strong in a great financial position and allowing us to expand our program offerings in the year ahead. So now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Leila Sami, a member of our board, who will give the highlights of our programs from last year.
Thank you, Tim. Hi, everybody. Welcome. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of a brief overview about the highlights, as Tim mentioned, of last year. And so being remote was challenging, but it did bring some really good access to people from all over the world and all over the country to be able to watch some of our programming. We had an increase in views of over 122%, which was really great to see. We also had about 3,700 views of our programs. And you can see some key factors or key points to bring up. We had over 45 countries that viewed some of our programming, which is phenomenal. So if we can find a little bit of a silver lining within the pandemic, this can be it, that we were able to provide our programming across the world. And the programming is wonderful. Out of a 10-point scale, we had on average about 9.38. So thank you, Tim. Thank you to the program committee and Tim and his crew, because they were able to bring all of these great programming events together. Our donors increased by about 44% in 2020, which is pretty phenomenal to think about, especially during a year that we had. So thank you to the board and again to Tim and the crew for all of your efforts and all of the work that you did. We were still able to host about 104 international visitors. These international visitors were virtual. We also partnered with 68 organizations to host our international visitor exchanges and speaker programs. Finally, we hosted, when we're talking about the programming, we hosted 4 former US secretaries, 2 generals, and 4 US senators, which is pretty phenomenal. And our academic World Quest, although we weren't able to implement, we had about 48 registered students. Sorry, Tim. 12 teams and 8 high schools. So thank you to the Education Committee for all of your hard work on that. And my favorite, which I'm so excited about, we had 13 episodes for Global in the Granite State, and our average viewers was upwards of about 1,500 for some of our last few podcasts. So if you haven't heard the podcast, I highly recommend it. And thank you all, and I hope you enjoy your evening. Ginny, back to you.
Thank you, Layla. And I think that looking at the year 2020 would not be complete without giving a sincere and hearty thank you to the staff. They really worked magic in 2020, responded quickly to keep the programs going and keep the public engaged. And this involved not only really being smart, but also enormously dedicated and worked very hard. So please join me in thanking the staff. Great job, guys. Wonderful. And it's now my privilege to announce the winner of the 2020 President's Award that goes to the individual who had the greatest community impact through their volunteer service. This year, we are honoring 2 individuals with the award. For the past 6 years, these 2 have made the Academic World Quest program for teenagers possible. Now, getting teenagers excited about anything but their iPhones and computer games is pretty difficult, but Academic World Quest competition does just that. All 50 states participate in this nationwide program, and New Hampshire would not be represented without the work of these 2 individuals, providing high school students with a learning experience that opens their eyes to whole new worlds. For the students, it is indeed a life-changing experience. So this year's President's Award goes to the 2 women who make this possible, our Education Committee co-chairs, Carolyn Holman and Carolyn Richmond. And again, please join me in congratulating them on receiving this award.
Cheers, 3 cheers.
And we wish we were with you so we could hand you the awards, but we couldn't make that happen. So you will eventually get them. Next, we look at a very successful spring fundraising effort that is so extraordinary, I still can't believe it. Thanks to the expertise and dedication of the Vice President of the Board, Diane Schaefer, and the very generous matching contribution made by Karen and Steve Barndollar, and the donations from each of you who participated, $15,000 was raised in one day. I've never heard of that before. It's just amazing. It was the New Hampshire Gives Day. And if you donated to this effort, you have a chance to win a weekend donated by the Mountain View Grand Resort and Spa. So again, with the magic of technology, Tim will pick the winner. Tim?
Okay, so as you see here, we have the fun spin-o wheel. Let me just show we've got all of our names of our donors listed in here. I will shuffle twice just to make sure there's no questions as to the integrity of our process. But basically, we'll spin the wheel. We'll see whose name pops up, and we will provide them with a voucher for 2 nights of their choosing at the Mountain View Grand Hotel.
Oh.
Thank you so much to that hotel for donating to our fundraiser here. So here we go. Are we ready? And we're gonna spin. Let's see who comes up. And our winner is Rod Van Schijver. Congratulations. We really appreciate all of the support of all of our donors who helped make it such a successful program. So I will turn it back to Jenny now for some closing remarks.
In closing, we expect the years ahead will present a unique opportunity for the council to have impact. We're planning programs that will bring experts in to talk about such things as threats to free press, economies in transition, cyber conflicts such as hacking, espionage, and ransomware, refugees and migration, climate change, and many others. We hope to help close the gap in information access and understanding that exists everywhere in the US, including New Hampshire, by reaching out to audiences who have not participated in our programs before. We've initiated plans to embrace issues of diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice, and will make these part of everything we do. We'll continue offering programs both in person and online, keeping them accessible to all. And our International Visitors Program, which happens to be very dear to my heart, will resume, allowing people here in New Hampshire to get to know up-and-coming leaders from around the world. Our programs have never been more consequential than they are right now, and we want you to continue to be a part of this important work. Your membership makes it all possible, and we are very grateful. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we hope to see you soon in person at our live events later this year. And again, noting all board members, including new board members, please stay connected for a meeting that follows this meeting. And to all of the rest of you, good evening, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your support. Have a good night.